It is Friday, May 6th, 2022, and Friday, that means it's happy hour Friday. If you haven't seen it, if you don't know, happy hour, 4 p.m. Central Time. Go look up LITECOIN Lisa on YouTube. Follow her channel. Put the notification bell on. 4 p.m. Central Time every Friday. She and I do a live happy hour. Have a few drinks, talk about current events, talk about crypto, get a little fired up, have some fun. Go check it out. It's a good time. I always enjoy it. 4 p.m. Central Time today. Watch it live. You can watch it on this channel too. It's a simulcast. Happens at the same time, but if you want to get engaged in the live chat, go over to her channel, hit a thumbs up, subscribe to her. She does a good job, has a show every week, different topics, every day of the week, different topics, 4 p.m. Central Time. But Friday is happy hour, baby. That's when we do what we do. I see that one of the main topics, they want to bring back masking. I mean, they keep planting the seeds. It's crazy because you had the courts overrule saying that the CDC overstepped. Every court has said that the governments, don't have the right to do this. And yet they keep talking about, well, we might have to bring back mask mandates. But now they say, well, it's up to the locals, local people to decide that. And so you're going to have, Illinois will go back to masking, and then you'll have other states that don't do it. And it's another divide and conquer strategy. But I guess the thing is, if it is dangerous, if it is, there's politics going on in Illinois right now, who the next governor is going to be. And, the Republicans are all saying, well, he voted, he's aligned with Obama, or he said he voted for Biden, and they're just knocking each other down, playing politics as usual, and we're getting all kinds of just looking at the neighbor here, all kinds of bashing, and you're worse than I am. That's really what it comes down to. You're worse than me. At least I'm not as bad as you. You should vote for me. So yeah, a lot of mailing, a lot of money being spent just trying to get elected, and all the TV ads right now. And it's just. But it does make a difference because the squirrel is got a nut. That's all you can ask for. Squirrel gets a nut. So you've got a lot of people who are, it does matter, and they're spending a lot of money, and it is important because last time during the pandemic, our governor here of Illinois, J.B. Prickster, he had the mandate for everybody, for schools, for basically the whole state. You need to wear a mask. And then you had other governors that didn't do that. So one guy, made a big impact on people's lives, caused a lot of grief, a lot of anguish. So it is important. The more important thing is you have to realize when they're overstepping, and you don't have to follow those rules. And the courts have proven that. But see, you knew at the time, or a lot of us knew at the time, that no, this isn't legit. This is just some executive order, which means nothing. It's unconstitutional. Therefore, it doesn't apply. And you do the best you can to not comply, but there are businesses that absolutely comply and won't let you in the door. They'll call the police on you because you're not wearing a mask. So you don't shop there anymore. You hear, you vote with your dollar, vote with your energy, vote with your money, whatever your money happens to be. Don't give them the power to control you. And you make the decision willfully. It's like, okay, I got to get on an airplane. I'm going to go here. It's for this reason. I could drive if I want to, but I'm making the decision. Fine. I'll play in that casino briefly, and then I'm out. Just because you have to weigh those options individually. But elections do matter. And you look at the Supreme Court right now. 3 judges, new judges, who were recently put on the Supreme Court, are going to make probably a big decision here, and maybe already have made it in the Roe v. Wade case. There may be other cases too. So it does matter. The courts should matter, and they're supposed to defend the Constitution. It's really what it comes down to. And if you've got good judges, good justices on there, that's what they should do. But ultimately, the people, we decide. And then one of the most powerful things in our form of government is a jury. And everybody, I don't want to be on a jury. The jury selection, they try to avoid it, and find excuses not to be selected for the jury. I was almost, like that close, right at the end, brought in a murder trial a couple of years ago to be selected on the jury. It was really close. I was like on call. And I didn't end up being selected. Didn't need me in the pool. But, I was ready to go. I'm like, absolutely. I want to do it. And the reason why I want to do it is because 12 people can overrule, I don't know if it was Marbury versus Madison. I don't know which case it was. I don't even know if it was that case. But a jury, you ever hear jury nullification? A jury can overthrow, basically, not only, I can't think of what the language is, a jury is responsible for trying the crime and also the law. So you can say black people are slaves, but a jury can say, okay, yeah, you've broken the law, you've run away from your master, and your master, deserves his property back because that's the law. But a jury can say, no, they can overturn the law. That's the most important thing I don't think people realize, that we realize in this country. A jury can set a guilty man free, even if they know he's guilty. Because if he's guilty of committing a crime, when the law that is creating the crime is unjust, they can basically ignore the law. A jury can do whatever it wants. They can choose not to convict. So that's one of the most powerful things, because it's a jury of your peers. It's people in the community. And if they say, you know what, this law is unjust, they don't have to convict people of it. So, the law can be, well, if you don't do this, we're going to come take your house. And that's the law because we passed it. Okay, it's an unjust law. And then you go to trial. And then a jury says, yeah, you're guilty of doing such and such a thing. And the law says that they can come take your house. But we're not going to let them do that. So we're going to call you innocent. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. The jury decides. Very important. They can overturn the law. Because the law isn't always just. Like I said, there were laws saying that black people are slaves, that women couldn't vote, that you can't drink alcohol, prohibition. Just because the government passes it, and the government being, corrupt politicians happen to get power, like right now, and just because they pass a law doesn't make it just. Just because they put out a mandate that says you got to do this and do that, it doesn't make it right. And ultimately, we the people decide. If the courts don't decide, if the courts don't decide and they uphold an unjust law, and then when you're convicted of that law, or I shouldn't say, when you're tried for that law and you're in clear violation of it, a jury can say, I don't care if he violated it or not. It's an unjust law. Screw that. Throw it out. He's innocent. That's the key. Ultimately, it devolves down to the people. That's what the Constitution has said. That's where the power ultimately resides. But if you just play the game and say, oh, well, they passed the law, we have to follow it, the only way to get it overturned and to prove that it's valid or invalid is to put it to the test. And it may take you going to trial. And hopefully we've got 12 people that have enough common sense. It really only takes one to have a mistrial. You think about it, to convict somebody, you need 12 people to agree to convict. It's pretty overwhelming. If you have one person that says, nope, not doing it, 12 angry men, that was a play in that case. It's obvious, that this guy's guilty, but there was one guy that held out and convinced the rest of the jury, wait a minute, this guy's innocent. So all it takes is one person to say, no, I'm not convicting, and you can't convict him. It's just that simple. So it's really a beautiful sense of justice if we use it. It's a tool that we need to use, and if we don't use it, it doesn't have any meaning. But it's important to understand that. Jury nullification. Judge isn't going to tell you anything about that. And lawyers aren't going to tell you anything about that, but you have that right. Jury nullification. Very important thing, I think it gets overlooked, the power that we have. I want to talk about one thing that I think it was Wednesday in a video that I talked about. It was I was talking about milk duds. You know, I like to put milk duds in my theater popcorn, mix them up, and that kind of thing. I think I missed the point, or I didn't get to the point. I used to go to Menards, and this is like a month ago, and before, forever, and it was a box. They were 99 cents. Box of the theater candy, milk duds. You know, they had Whoppers. They got all this other M&Ms, you know, and all these other stuff. Theater box candy. So you buy it there, and you take it into the theater rather than paying $4 or $5 for the same thing in the box. Smuggle it in. But it was 99 cents forever, 99 cents. And I went in the other day and it was $1.24 for all the box candies, the theater box candies. I mean, from 99 cents to $1.24. I mean, you're looking at a 25% increase. Now, it may not seem like much because you're like, well, in the big picture, it's $1.24. If I go to the movie theater, it's probably $3.75, 3 times that, you know, something like that. And so it's not that bad, but it's a quarter more. I mean, it's 25% more. Just one more example. Same amount of candy, same box, $1.24. So, I mean, we're getting hit. We're getting hit all over the place. You see this Walmart in Indianapolis or Indiana. I think it was in Indianapolis, but it's in Indiana. A big distribution center caught fire this week. You've seen all these food processing plants getting burned down. And you think, is it a coincidence? Or are we being attacked at some level by internally, externally, whatever it is, that causes more problems with this supply chain, which in turn makes us expend more energy for the same goods? I mean, I don't know. All I know is everybody's being affected. We're all getting hammered by it. We're all having to pay for it. You look at the stock market, it was down. Oh, it was down over 1,000 points. Everybody's panicking, and you know, you haven't seen anything. You're welcome to the crypto market. Why don't you take a look at that and see how that goes? You want nerves of steel? Get involved in crypto, baby. You know, the funny thing about crypto is long term, if you look at the chart, it's up, and the math proves that it's just going to be up. It's just a numbers game with the solid cryptos like Bitcoin, Litecoin, because there is a fixed supply. Even Digibyte, there's just more Digibyte, and it's I like Digibyte. I drive a Digibug, but it's when you've got that fixed supply and only so many people, there's only so many coins to go around. It's just it's a matter of time. And so the long-term trend is just like that. And you've got to realize that and see that. And so these short-term dips to where you see Litecoin's $95. Oh my God, you know, it was $300, $400 last year. That's when you do something with it. You know, if you need to check off some freedom boxes, well, go buy it with Litecoin. Or you just continue to hold it because long-term, you know what's going to happen. It comes down to time frame. I mean, if you only got 5 years and you need to get out because of other reasons, because you have life goals, then you plan accordingly. And you'll be fine in 5 years, you know, if you hold a coin like Litecoin for 5 years, because you'll have run-ups to where you can take your profit, do what you want to do with it. But if you're a long-term investor, I mean, you can make generational wealth on this stuff for your children. I mean, even yourself. It's just how long do you want to wait? You know, it's our time frame. How much time do we think we have, and what are we going to use that time for? What are we going to do with it? And you have to weigh it accordingly and make moves based on that. But long term, you're not losing. You're not going to lose. It went from $0 to $95 right now. Bitcoin $0 to, I don't know what it is, $36,000 today. I'm not sure. It had a little bit of a dip. But it doesn't matter. Stock market, you quit pumping money into that thing, you don't even have access to it. And that's you want to take your money out of the stock market, how long does it take to get it out? I mean, if it's locked up in a fund, you have to pay a penalty. Can you get your money right now if you need it? If it's locked up in the stock market. Can you get it right now? Can you cash out today? You can do that with crypto. You can send that right now. I can send any crypto I want anywhere in the world. If I'm using Litecoin, it gets there. Bitcoin, I might be waiting half a day. Ethereum, I might be paying a fortune for it because of the gas fees to move it. Litecoin, cheap, quick. I can do that right now. I can send Litecoin anywhere I want. No banks involved, no governments involved. I can do it, no problem. Litecoin network confirms it, boom, shows up in the wallet. Can you do that with your stocks? Can you do that with gold or silver? And don't get me wrong, I love silver. But from the practical standpoint of living in a digital age, when you need to move value immediately, silver doesn't work. It just doesn't. As a store, a deep store of value, yeah, absolutely does. But you've got to transport that, take that to somebody, and sell that to somebody or exchange that for something with somebody physically. You have to be there. You don't have to do that when you're, hey, I see Panama is going to start accepting or legalizing cryptos, and Litecoin's one of them. Okay, I want to buy some land in Panama. I want to buy some beachfront property right now. Okay, let me load up some silver and drive down there all the way down through Mexico and get to Panama, or fly down there. How are you going to fly with all that silver? I mean, there's logistical issues. You're going to get flagged at the gate. TSA is going to say, what are you doing with this silver? Or you're just going to send some Litecoin down there to a wallet and say, boom, done. That's how easy it is. Or just show up down there and you've got your Litecoin and you can just spend it. It's just that simple. You can transfer value quickly, easily, without having to worry about it being counterfeit. The network confirms all that. That's what the code does. That's why it's been running for over 10.5 years. You don't have to worry about that transaction not being valid. You get paid in $100 bills, you got to take the little yellow marker, if it's counterfeit or not. Same with silver. I mean, you don't know if you're getting counterfeit silver or gold. Somebody gives you a bar, a 10-ounce bar, a 100-ounce bar of silver or something. You look at it, you're like, it's a big hunk of metal. Looks right. But, unless you drill through it and you see the whole, and even then, you can make a hole through half of it, and then the other half might have some fake filler in it. And you just happen to drill through a part that has it. Or they just stick it in the middle. They put the silver in the middle, and then the outside, it's covered up with plated with silver, and then, something else over there. Gold with plated tungsten, stuff like that. You don't know. And it's just a problem. So now you've got sound money for the digital age. You've got Litecoin. You've got something you do not have to verify. It is a trustless system. You don't have to trust it. The system takes care of it. The math takes care of it. Makes it easy to transfer value. It's just a superior form of money right now when you're transacting in a digital world. If the digital world goes down, well, then it doesn't work. But until that last computer that's running the code, the node, Litecoin code, until that goes down, the network still works. So you'd have to take down the electrical grid, the power grid, digital, everything in the entire world. You can have an EMP in the United States and it doesn't matter. Your funds are still secured by the Litecoin network because you've got computers running all over the world. It's a worldwide currency. It's worldwide money. That's the important thing. And if it all goes down, then we're zombie apocalypsed. And it doesn't matter if you have silver, gold. You're going to need lead and crosses. Silver bullets maybe. You got bigger issues at that point. You're in a world of darkness. That stuff isn't going to do you any good. So that's where we're at. Yeah, we're getting robbed. Inflation is robbing us. The milk duds are $1.24 a box instead of $1. It's just one example. All you got to do is just look at everything you have bought and what the cost is, and you're getting robbed. And at some point, it's just going to get worse, and that sense of panic's going to set in, and it's, what do we do? What are we going to do? There is sound money out there. There is something that you can hold. There is something that you can have possession of. You can have possession of silver, but, if you're going to transact digitally and virtually, you need something that's going to work. Litecoin's my go-to. So look into that if you haven't. Very undervalued, very, very, very undervalued digital asset right now. All right, I got to go. Got a meeting. Happy hour is at 4 p.m. Central Time today. I hope you all show up. check LITECOIN Lisa's channel. Like I said, subscribe to her, hit the notification. You'll get notified, and then you can watch us live. Jump into the chat over there. That's pretty cool when I see everybody, you know, kind of chiming in and, you know, make it more interactive. And got any questions, anything you want us to talk about, have at it, because I'll be having a few drinks and I'll talk about whatever you want. All right. Hope you all have a wonderful Friday. It's a little dreary here, but you know what? It's going to warm up. It's going to get really hot next week, so I'll be sweating it. All right. I love you all. Trust yourselves. That's the most important thing. Trust your instincts. Trust your gut. Have a great Friday. Hope to see you on Happy Hour. All right. Love you all.